Hey everybody, welcome back to Sliding Driving. Today we're doing suspension. So today is going to be the first real performance-based modification that we're doing to the MR2. We did do tires, but tires were a little more of a necessity because I was not going to take out 720 treadwear tires onto Lime Rock. So today what we're going to be doing is our first performance mod. Last year I went to go have the MR2 aligned to check some things because I was having a little bit of handling suspension issues, and I found out that actually multiple of the struts that came from factory on the car, first of all, were still on the car, the OEM ones, original ones that came with them, and they were blown. So basically my ride height's funked up, the struts are blown, so I'm losing steering in the front when I'm going over specific turns. Usually it's left turns and most affects me, but it's definitely coming down to the point now where the body roll is just so much for the car that I don't know that I can improve my times really without getting the car stable and level. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. Okay, so for suspension we went with Silver Neomaxes. So basically they send you this nice beautiful package. Everything is handmade and house-made, so it's all freshly put together when they send it out to you. I ended up going with a 6K in the front and a 10K in the rear. A little bit stiffer than their normal coils that they give you, but the actual shocks in these coils are good for 20K. Okay, so we got pretty much everything unbolted. Brake lines, the nuts are out of here, the nuts are loose on top. But what I did run into is that my end links, the ball joints and the end links are totally stripped out. So the rear sway bar is coming out of this car anyways to test it out for some handling stuff. So basically we're just destroying these links. We're gonna cut them off here so we can get them off of the sway bar, keep the original sway bar, but this whole assembly is going in the trash. So I did have to cut my end links to get this off. Luckily, it's just, you know, if you have like a Sawzall, it'd probably go quicker. I just used a die grinder. I mean, these end links, they're pretty bad. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. So now we're gonna go ahead and take these out and get the new ones in. Okay, so it's kind of bad lighting, but we're gonna be hammering these two out. Remember, don't lose these because you'll probably have to reuse them. Want to snake it out towards the front of the car, under the ABS wire, like that. Don't let your don't let your hub fall. That's what I'm holding on to, because then if it fall, it rests on the brake line. So the best idea would be to zip tie it to the rest of the car, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, here's the other side, hopefully with better lighting. So, brake line out of the way. Remember, keep your bolts. Wow, this is great lighting, right on my face. Lighting everybody wants to see. Did you let go? Or just pretend that you want to let go? Let it go. Is this still funny? So play that. Okay. Let's hold this up with the chest. Put a loop. And bam. Okay, next one. It is through here. There is no denying that. Oh boy. Where the hell am I going to loop this one to? Further at all. Like that. Took long enough. Okay, so now we're going to take the nuts off the top and just drop it straight down. Alright, so the nuts are out. It is supported by my hand only. We're going to move the ABS wire and drop her down and out. See, the McPherson strut style like this, even though it's kind of, I guess you'd say inferior technically to double wishbone, it is very helpful for working on. Okay, so now for the rears, because it's a rear-wheel drive car, you have to be careful because we have a transaxle on this car, which means the axles go directly from the hub right here to the transaxle. So if this falls too far forwards, it pulls the axle out of the transmission. It won't come out of here because it has an axle nut on it, but it will come out of the transmission then. You don't want to mess with that. So just get something tall enough like this to be able to rest your whole knuckle and hub assembly on. So same thing, we're gonna use our hammer and our zip ties. Everything's disconnected, so start by tapping on that. Let's see if we can thread these out. There we go. Okay. Alright. Just got one. Let's go ahead and be careful of your brake lines. It's not a job you also want to be doing in this car. So, seems like everything's actually going to be held on pretty well. So, go ahead, pretty much loosen the McPherson, the strut. You want this resting on here, something solid like this. And we're going to go ahead from the top, hold it in by our weight. Maybe not. Hold on. I have to loosen the bolt. Okay. So that's everything from the top. Just have to smash your finger like that. Oh, that hurt really bad. Okay. So, to get this to come. And out. Okay. Just like that. So you're gonna pull these ones out towards the rear of your car. Again, clearing that ABS line, but just make sure that you don't pinch it or snap it. That line is very important, as is your brake line, so just be careful of those. So I only have one garbage can here at this shop, so I'm just gonna be, I took the two fronts out already, because those I can hold the zip ties. I really don't feel like running the zip tie line over here, so I'm just gonna install the rears one by one, and go from there. So let me just clear these nuts back here, put these on our garbage can, handy dandy shop helper garbage can. Be a good idea. Make like a work cart instead of a garbage can. now you're going to go ahead and just loosely install it with the nuts. Obviously, you can only put 2 nuts in because the other nut holds in that cross member, so you can't put that one on yet. So now we're going to go ahead and move this into place. Okay, so now that that's like that, we're going to see. Okay, that doesn't really fit in there. Let me do some playing around and I'll get back to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna straight be honest with you. That sucked getting that in. Essentially, I had to lift the entire hub and knuckle assembly back up to ride height, and then you have to put this bolt in first. You can't do this bolt. You have to do this one because then it pivots on an angle, and then you can put this one in. I'm out of breath from manipulating that, so you're gonna go ahead and kind of wiggle this back and forth. It is gonna help if you have 2 people, by the way. It's gonna be so much easier, but I wanna show that you can do this with 1 person. So, yeah, so I don't, it's kind of a hard process to watch, so, and I blocked most of the camera. I don't know if I'm gonna show the next one, but that is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to manipulate and wiggle this entire thing and lift it. So, you know, maybe a jack or something like that to help you get this up, like a floor jack would be so much better. But I have a lift. It's gonna be a lot of time setting that up. So I'll show you when those are done, then we'll move on to the front. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing a front one. I did the front one on the other side, so I'm hoping this angles out. The MR2 is such a short car, you just reach over this, just get her into place. There you go, so that's in place. Go ahead and rotate that. This is the tricky part. This one is kind of tough no matter what one you're doing. So what I'm going to be doing is snugging up the top a little bit real quick, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the top is snugged up right now. We're gonna attempt to get this into place. I don't know how well it's gonna work. Probably need to loosen up the top because this, oh actually, that went not too bad. Grab a big bolt. This. Okay, do that real quick. Okay, lift that up a little. Okay. Whew. Got one in. After that, pretty much cakewalk. Okay, get your brake line in place again. ABS sensor is going to slide over, but obviously you're also going to need to, oh, that'll go on. You're going to have to put your other bolt in. Feel for it. This, and boom. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, tighten these up, and then tighten the top up. Make sure everything's good to go. All brake lines are connected, everything's good. Everything feels okay. I will do a test drive around the neighborhood to help the spring settle a little bit. We'll come back in, see if I can play with the ride heads a little bit. So I don't know which point I will tune back in, probably when I'm driving or before I drive, but yeah. Hi, Evan from the future. Okay, quick update. Suspension's been in the car for quite some time now. I had put it in, I believe, in August, end of July, August, I think August.
So the suspension's been in for quite some time. It's good. The suspension feels great. I haven't been able to get it aligned or get eccentric bolts for the rear. So that is why I haven't made this video yet and why you're seeing this at the end of the video now. So basically, this is going to work as my outro, my update. I have done an event with the suspension and it not aligned, and the suspension feels good. It is a good suspension, and I just didn't want to put anything out yet saying anything because I don't want the company that I bought these from to get a bad rep. Basically, though, suspension's good. It's exactly how I like it. I went with a 10K shock or 10K spring in the rear and a 6K in the front. They recommended you do a 4 number split. So that's where we're at with that. But it feels good. Feels good with the tires. I played around with the alignment a little bit myself, and it's not chewing up the tires anymore because when I installed them, it had some pretty bad toe in with positive camber, and it was a mess. But so until I find a place that I can get it aligned and get some extra eccentric bolts for the rear, because I have a feeling they're not going to come free when I try to do it myself. So, but yeah, until then, the suspension is in. Suspension feels good, and it's starting to feel like it is glued to the track again. Which, well, glued to the track because 20 plus year suspension doesn't feel great. So that's it for this. Thank you guys for watching so much, and hopefully I can start to get a little bit of more scheduled videos out, because coming into winter, I have a few things that I'd like to get done on the MR2, and a few things I've already have done that it needs some TLC and some performance upgrades and safety upgrades. So with that, thank you guys for watching. See you later.